Testing 1, 2, 3. Looks like we are here. So we're live for the second day of LAN Madness. Welcome back, everyone, in the venue. Hope you slept reasonably well. Hey. So today, as you can see from the schedule we've got going up, we're going to be starting the day with Training Grounds 2. We'll be handing over to Walt in just a moment for that. We've got 3 different sets coming our way, so look out for that. Afterwards, we've got our as full a hall dodgeball tournament as possible. We've been pitting row against row and going to a single free-for-all final. And then we got pub quiz, group photo, and then the obligatory crab game to round off the evening. But yeah, without further ado, I shall give it over to Walt.
Thank you very much, Grandy. And good morning, everybody. Today, I am very happy that we have Training Grounds at LAN Madness. It's a relaxed tournament, but we have 3 competitive sets on the cards, beginning with Reilled versus Akkal, and then followed by Daisy and Nillis. And Mel and Roadrunner will close us out for 3 sets today. If Akkal and Reilled would like to make their way to the drafting table, we will begin right away. And Mole and Vinnie are going to do the cast, talking over the draft and getting in the players' heads.
Okay.
All right. It's a lovely setup we've got here. Thank you to Grandy.
Ooh, and we've already started. So we've got the first map ban. First map ban from Akkal.
Fortified clearing.
Fortified clearing. Doesn't want walls.
I've heard that Akkal, quite an aggressive player, doesn't want anything with walls made for his opponent already.
And then Reilled first bans Arabia. So
I think that matches up. Reilled, a bit of a wild card. He'll play anything if you ask him nicely.
And then we've got the first pick from Akkal. He's picked Morass.
That we were just saying a few seconds ago. Morass is such an aggressive map.
Yes.
18 bot, man at arms. You know, just get it going as soon as possible. Finish the game quickly.
Yep. And then hideout pick from Reilled, wanting a bit of a slower pace game.
He played hideout a lot in the first Training Grounds tournament.
It's true.
I think he's a fan.
He's a plan. It's true. We've got more bans, so Golden Swamp and Nomad out of the map pool. We're just going down the bans so we get our first pick, which will be the first map they play.
Kawasan.
Kawasan banned. So the last 2 options, we've got LAN Madness and Neon. Neon being a new map made by Vinnie here.
Yes, I think it's a great map. I hope they play it. I won't be offended, Reilled. You pick whatever you want.
Neon gets banned. Going for the more known
Only a little bit
LAN
offended.
Madness. Okay, so game 1 we've got LAN Madness, and then Hideout is Reild's home map, and Morass as Akkal's home map. So we're going to be moving on to the Civ draft now. Going to be interesting to see how they prioritize their Civs, which ones they don't want their opponent to play, which ones they're going to try and get for their games.
So this is the thing. Do you try and secure your home map, get the civs you want in for that home map as soon as possible, just to make sure you win that, or are you sort of trying to take the map off your opponent?
Well, yeah. Maybe you feel so confident on your home map that you think, well, I could maybe have a slightly worse Civ, but deny something from my opponent.
Although I think a lot of players will have one strategy that they've practiced extensively on their home map.
Yeah.
And is that the first ban is poles?
First ban of poles, okay. I mean, they're just very good on closed maps. And first ban of
Incas.
Incas, okay.
Is
I mean-
that Reilled's been doing some homework, do you think?
Possibly. I mean, I'm not too sure. But Incas, they had a recent buff with the cheaper military units, so maybe thinking they're just scary, I want to get rid of them. Okay, so first pick, Mongols. Okay. I mean, very aggressive, can get up to some very fast starts on a lot of these maps, so.
Mongols for Land Madness?
Could be. Japanese. Now that's interesting. We've already seen them this tournament. In fact, we've seen a set with Daisy, who'll be playing later on Moras, had an incredibly aggressive strat on that. So
I think that we might be seeing that again.
might be. And Saracens. Okay. Saracens can just do shenanigans.
Reilled is big fan of Saracens. He's played it on a few maps.
I mean, you've
I
got
don't want to give anything away, but I suspect I have some idea of where that might be going.
Ooh, okay. And then a Goths pick from Akkal. I mean, Goths are Goths. They're fun. You spam units. You make army. You overrun. The swarm is here.
So do you think that's a slower hideout pick? Or
I don't know. I mean, with the
hunt
longer-lasting hunt, they're a bit quicker than they used to be.
Land Madness.
I haven't seen that.
Push
That
a
would
lot
be
of
fun.
deer.
And Aztecs. Okay, another classic, strong, aggressive civ.
So where do you play Aztecs? Not on Land Madness, I'd have thought. Maybe Morass?
I'd assume not, but who knows? Morass, yeah. Magyar's one of the favorite Land Madness.
Yes, Magyar's definitely top tier on Land Madness.
I mean, if we think
we've
back
seen
to
from
Training Grounds 1, we saw Magyars, we saw Franks, we saw
and
Magyars.
usually Magyars
We
was
saw
beating.
Franks.
Usually Magyars was beating Franks as well, so definitely a good tier.
Okay, here we have the snipes as well. Okay,
All
so
right.
Magyars have been sniped.
Probably sensible,
Yeah.
considering it's such a high tier pick for the map.
And a Mongol snipe from Reilled. Okay. Not wanting to deal with any.
I think that's I'm not going to let you do your 16 pot build you've been practicing all
Yes.
week. So Reilled probably needs a Land Madness civ.
Yeah. So we've got 2 more civ picks now. They're going to have 4 civs for the 3 maps they're going to be playing, so 1 spare.
Well, the thing is, Franks are open. And you know I love Franks.
Yes. Well, there's one thing you know how to do, and that's make some knights.
I haven't played any of my sets yet. Don't give away my strategies.
Oh, sorry, you're a massive
I
archer
love
player.
archers.
You're a big micro nerd. Lithuanians, okay. Just another solid, versatile civ. I could realistically see them anywhere here.
Some intense looks of concentration on the players' faces.
Khmer. I mean, Khmer, they saw a lot of love recently with some high placements in some tier lists that some pros might have made. Some people here might have had some strong opinions about those, though, so.
But Khmer, do you? I think we saw them on Hideout and on Land Madness.
Probably, yeah.
The
They're a
previous
civ that
tournament.
can go in a lot of different places. They've got very strong eco with a few good options. I mean, not having to have the prerequisite buildings just mean you can kind of surprise and go whatever you want.
Although it's somewhat scary on Land Madness because you probably want that barracks anyway. I've made that
see,
mistake
yeah.
before.
Teutons as a last pick for Akkal. Again, you could see them on
I would
many different
play
places.
Teutons on any of these maps,
Yeah.
but maybe not. Maybe not sure if everybody would.
Well, you went through a phase of playing a lot of Teutons, to be fair.
Actually, I played Teutons on Hideout. You could do the towers to get in.
Towers to get in. They've got good monks, good cav, good siege, whatever you want.
If you're trying to find an aggressive play on Hideout, it's not a bad strategy.
Not a bad strat.
Oh, Berbers.
Berbers is a final pick. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Reilled's played some good Berbers games in the past. I suspect.
I don't know if good is quite what I call some of those games.
Entertaining for the
Entertaining
for the
viewer.
neutral.
Yeah. That's good. Okay, just got some final notes being made, and then they're going to move on over to their setups for them to start getting ready to play.
Reilled's gone to the wrong row of computers. He'll find his way there eventually.
Reilled will, yeah. He's there now. So, I mean, we've got some very interesting drafts from both. Got some fun maps. I'm really looking forward to this set, even more than I already was.
I'm hoping we see Goths, because we didn't see Goths much last tournament, and not much so far this tournament either, even with the buffs.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what Akkal can do with them.
Yeah. Okay, and at this moment, I'm going to hand my mic over to Walt so that he can take you through the Civ, take you through the set. So, yeah. Goodbye.
Thank you very much, Mel. And, well, quite an aggressive draft, I've got to say.
Well, I was told by, I won't say who told me this, but I was told that Akkal is very, very aggressive and wants to get the games over with as quickly as possible.
Ah, well.
And that makes sort of the map draft certainly supports that theory.
It does indeed.
Banning fortified clearing.
Yeah.
Picking morass, which is definitely the most aggressive map in the pool.
Yes. And Reilled picks up Hideout, maybe to try and slow the game down a little bit as best he can. But the Civ matchup for Akkal, the Civ selection for Akkal does feel quite aggressive, I've got to say. And who do you think has come out best on this draft?
I would rather have Reilled Civs, but that's mostly personal opinion.
Okay.
I'm still trying to work out exactly where you're taking Goths and Aztecs.
Right. Well, I think it's got to be Khmer or Teutons on LAN Madness. Aztecs or Goths, probably both pretty good picks on Morass, to be honest. And then Teutons can also do quite well on Hideout. So I think Akkal and Reilled both have very good options, although I actually am inclined to agree with you, Vinnie. I do quite like Reilled's picks for each of the maps. Saracens, obviously, a very aggressive way to play Hideout, but they can play Hideout extremely well. Diamonic from Training Grounds 1 demonstrated the power of Saracens on Hideout. And
I think
maybe
Reilled might have played that as well.
And Reilled, okay, well, he might try and fight fire with fire here. And yeah, take the fight to Akkal's base from Feudal Age. But we'll see how the players line up on the different maps. First map will be LAN Madness, so shouldn't be too many fireworks there. I'd imagine Berbers or Lithuanians for Reilled. And
Teutons or Khmer.
yeah, Akkal picking Mongols and getting sniped out. Obviously, Mongols are very nice on LAN Madness.
Yes, you've got to be afraid that your opponent has practiced some ratty sort of low pop build order with Mongols there.
Only one boar, but lots and lots of deer on LAN Madness.
Yes.
The Mongols making good use of the food bonus. The players are just getting into the lobbies, so they can see our lovely faces. And yeah, just in general, really. So the matchup between these two players, Akkal came into the tournament seed number 1 with the sign-up either of 1449 of a 1450 capped tournament. But Reilled, since the sign-ups, has actually put a bit of a tear on, and he's currently around 1500 elo.
Yes, so, and he of course was a finalist in the previous tournament.
He was a finalist in the previous tournament.
Despite being, I think he was 3rd or 4th seed.
Yeah.
He's a dangerous player.
You
don't want to, if you're a Akkal, you're not, even though you're 1st seed, you're not taking this one lightly.
No.
This is a sort of, this could be the actual final.
It could be.
This is going to be one of the highest level games
Yeah,
the whole
absolutely,
tournament.
absolutely, and we're having it in the group stage. So very lucky to have this one right now. And yeah, I'm really excited to see these two. I've not actually seen Akkal play before. I've seen Reilled play many times, but I've only heard the rumors of Akkal's aggressive play style. I've not witnessed it myself. So I'm excited to see how that lines up. Vinnie, very humorous. Love to see that. Humorously spelt.
Well, you actually, you wrote that in the first place.
That's
your
why
name.
it's such a good joke.
Yeah, well, I think some people would disagree.
And it looks like the players are getting into the game. I see some mouses clicking and keyboards being pressed. Hopefully we will jump in live and catch up with them.
Doesn't have his headphones on yet. That's not a good sign.
Still loading, okay. Okay, but they have started? No, okay. Just wait a bit and bring you that one. And then let's talk about the other maps left to come. So LAN Madness we talked about. Morass, well, you alluded to it in the draft. Daisy had who we're going to see next set, Daisy, had a very nice game against Alikog on Morass. And that was with Japanese, and Reilled has Japanese in his draft. So I wonder if Akkal saw that and decided he had an answer to it, or if Akkal didn't see it and is going to get something coming to him.
You've got to be ready for a lot of feudal and even Dark Age pressure. You know, half the time Morass barely makes it to Castle Age.
Yeah.
It's such a sort of sharp game.
And then Hideout. Well, Reilled doesn't have to play Saracens. Hey, it could play Lithuanians, it could play Berbers. Play a bit more of a controlled game. Booming up into Fast Castle Knights, for instance. Could drop a castle with Berbers and go for some camel archers. Oh, I hear chopping of wood in my ears, and it's faded away again. One moment. We're building up to it. And I'm very, very excited to see how these players can cope with a bit of pressure in the live LAN environment. It feels a little bit of a different vibe, but it's definitely got it well drafting. It's not as comfortable as being at home, captain's mode on the screen.
It's one thing, yeah, knowing people are watching you on stream, but knowing you've got people walking up and standing behind you and sort of tutting over your shoulder.
Yes, exactly. Well, here we go. Reilled versus Akkal, game number 1 of Training Grounds 2. Aztecs on LAN Madness, Vinnie. You said in the draft, I doubt we'll see Aztecs on LAN Madness. I agreed with you.
It's because people love scouts. Scouts are so effective on this map because it's so open and it's really hard to defend your wood lines and your gold and everything at once.
Yes. But do you think we will see man-at-arm archers for Akkal? I'm very interested to see what the strategy choice is for him here.
I think knowing that Reilled will surely open scouts, man-at-arms archers is the obvious
counter.
sort of counter to that.
Yeah. Reilled with 3 villages onward. Typical of a scout build, and pushing in deer from a very long way away. So that's good to see for him. In fact, missing 2 of his sheep for now, so prioritizing the deer.
He's also missing his slightly closer deer patch.
Ah, yes.
But if you're going to push them all anyway, it doesn't really matter.
He's going to push them all anyway. And we had Berbers for him. Now, we should mention that. So he had the choice, realistically, between Berbers or Lithuanians, I feel. He's opted for Berbers. And the thing with Berbers is they have a very nice power spike in Castle Age with cheaper knights and camels. The knight's probably more of a factor in this game because Akkal is playing a Meso Civ. But in the Feudal Age, they haven't got the strongest eco bonuses compared to, say, Magyars or, not eco bonuses, bonuses to their military production. Magyars are Franks, for instance, both very good scout civs. So Berbers might be a little bit slow, and all I think, I'm just fearing slightly for Reilled, is that Akkal might be able to exploit that with this Aztec strategy. Here he now goes on to gold. He has 18 villas at the moment. Reilled has 19, gets loom, so very, very even in terms of idle time between these two. Barely any idle TC time. And Reilled gets loom, and I guess we'll click up with a 20 pop scout build. Akkal, it looks like he's still searching for deer. But now he is going to go forward across the map and try and find his opponent's base. Reilled on the way to feudal age. Akkal will follow him up as soon as Loon comes in.
It is quite the base for Akkal.
Quite
That's
the base.
A huge woodline in the front
That
by LAN
is-
Madness standards.
That is very atypical, right? And Reilled's going to come forward and spot that. They crossed paths there, but didn't see each other, looks like. And the barracks coming down nice and early, so Reilled's going to be in plenty of time if he wants to build a stable. Needs to get some more builds on wood though, and I think these builds are now moving out to a second lumber camp. It looks like they are. Ooh, change the mud. No, here they go. And Akkal, meanwhile, builds his barracks. Okay. So no man-at-arms, Vinnie.
Probably too late for the man-at-arms.
Definitely too late for man-at-arms. You'd want to have your militia being in the queue by now, so it looks like it's going to be straight archers for Akkal. What do you think?
Well, I'm not a fan. I think that on this map, I'd be much happier with scouts, and that's not just because I love scouts.
I think so. So on this map, you cannot wall to your woodlines. Have a ring of unwallable terrain around them, and that means that you can't place palisade walls and wall your base off very nicely. And that obviously means that, well, one of the biggest counters to scout opening is walling, and that makes it much harder to get an effective wall off, and therefore we see lots of scout play. And here comes the stable for Reilled. Akkal, we'll see what he does in 3, 2, 1 seconds as he gets up to the feudal age. Presumably he's going to want to drop.
Two spearmen queued.
2 spearmen queued up straight away.
I think that is definitely. I mean,
2
why
barracks. Vinnie is 2 barracks and a blacksmith. Okay, I am very unsure as to what we're going to see now. That should be really interesting. Is it going to be eagles? Eagle warriors. 5 eagle warriors queued up for Akkal. Goodness me. And they're so slow to produce, but Aztecs produce military units 11% faster. So they are slightly faster, but still so slow for a feudal age unit to build. And the scouts probably trade okay into them, right?
They outrun them as well.
They outrun them as well. Here comes infantry armor. Nice and early for Akkal.
Aggressive. I mean, this is a serious feudal age play.
Yeah, and it looks like something he's prepped, because this is not something you find in the typical LAN Madness script.
All right, you see one eagle.
Yeah.
And then a spear.
Spearman.
So you don't, it's not, the game's not, they're not sure what's going on. I'm probably still not sure what's going on just yet.
He has potentially scouted that
You see the
Akkal
gold.
has armor coming in. Sees lots of vills and gold. And
you've seen the second barracks. You know something's up.
know something's up, yeah. Seen the second barracks, no range seen yet. So Reilled's got to be in the small walls around the berries, so he's definitely aware of a melee unit threat, and nice find on the wood line.
Not quite finishing the wall off. It's only 3 scouts and there is a spear.
I think
That's
we'll get one
vill.
vill kill, but lose a scout in return. Definitely a nice trade for Reilled though. Even number of villagers, and that very nice Dark Age macro they were doing with the idle TC time has now just slipped a little bit.
And here's where you can see there's things going on across the map already, and already it's hard to keep everything going. Reilled has idle vills, Akkal isn't finishing wall offs and is leaving vills to die. And it's just so hard to keep it all going at once. And it's only going to get more hectic on this map.
It is indeed. And these spearmen could cause a real problem for...
You look away.
He looks away for a second.
You look away for a
loses 2
second, they're
scouts.
both gone.
And look at the army numbers, Vinnie. We were saying Eagle Warriors quite
you've
slow to
gotta
produce
keep
in feudal
producing.
age. But Reilled not be able to produce the scouts, and now Akkal is the one with the larger army. 6 Eagle Warriors on the field. 2 vills coming forward to drop a tower. Oh no. And that is Reilled's main wood line. There's 6 vills in there. That's half of his wood economy.
You can see the building.
You can see 1 vill tapping the
That's-
building. Not sure he's going to spot it.
Just
Scouts
spots the
coming around now.
foundation.
There's no spearmen with that army, and that's a very important point because
You
the
gotta dive in, hit the villagers.
but Akkal is watching it like a hawk. He's ready. He does not want that tower to be denied.
This is the problem. Only 2 scouts. I think on this with all maps, you have to be just pumping out the scouts.
Well, this is what I was saying about Berbers. In Castle Age, sure, their scalable units are cheaper, but in Feudal Age, it can be hard to keep the production going. And actually, Reilled's found that really challenging to produce vills and scouts having to choose between them
Walls off
separately.
the
And
tower.
there comes the tower. Taps 2 palisade tiles, and the Eagle Warriors obviously have a nice bit of PS armor on them. But Reilled, I think, very smart move. He's obviously will be a little bit startled to see that tower, but he's responding to it really nicely. Sends all the vills out. I think he will lose a couple of vills, though. Loses another one there.
And neither player has queued a vill in about 2 minutes.
I know, it's very, very chaotic stuff here. And Reilled doing a good job microing round. This tower, though, getting quite some good kills. And Akkal is not on stone, right? So this is his one and done. And I guess, will he be happy with the value he found? He probably will be fairly happy, but he didn't quite achieve all that he might have hoped for. There's 4 vills still live from the original 6 on that wood line. But here comes some more eagles to mop up the scraps. And they're going to find some kills on the way out. Maybe can get one more kill. No, I think he might have to run away. No, no chance. Has to run back.
So after all that, Reilled still has more villagers.
He does, but the thing is, the army numbers are so heavily in favor. If Akkal can just slightly coordinate his army, group them into a ball, maybe he can find an avenue here that he can actually, burst in on the wood line or pick off these weak farms. Because the thing is, the farmers there, they're so far away from the TC.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, and that's the beginning of a good comeback here for Reilled. 2 scouts now, chasing down 1 Eagle Warrior. And he's got 3 vills in the queue, but no scouts. So again, tough for him to manage all the economy. Here we go, one scout queued up. I really wonder for Reilled here. He's got to be on the edge of his seat. Akkal managing quite well to keep all of the action in his opponent's base, and that is really what you want to do, especially on a map like LAN Madness. Excluding the name, it's mad. And you want to have the action going on elsewhere. Nice wall off for Reilled. He spots the threat coming in. To give up on the stable, and the spearman this time. I think this is the key missing ingredient that he didn't have last time. There's one spearman there.
Spear forwards with you, and it makes it so awkward for the scouts player to clear up. Especially, I mean, you're struggling against Spear Eagle in Feudal Age with anything apart from man at arms.
Yeah,
but that's not what you want to be defending with.
That's not what you want to be defending with, and this completely caught Reilled off guard. Akkal's done a really good job of keeping his production high. Look, he's got 9 eagles in the queue from only 1 barracks. Nope, from both. Okay, capture age is lying to us. But that's really that's a really good sign for Akkal, and I think he has no intention of going to Castle Age this game. Not sure what you think, but it looks like with his production queue, he is intending to play this one out in Feudal. And 6 Eagle Warriors now, 7 Eagle Warriors on the front. They're starting to reach a bit of a critical mass. You know what I'd love to see, Vinnie? We had the castle, the tower on the other wood line. This one feels like a really, really nice tower spot. If you can
get it on the gold as well. Stone.
Yeah, denies the gold and also the stables right there. And it just feels like it's a little bit of a longer way. So if the vills did have to evacuate, they're going to be running through so many Eagle Warrior shots.
They're unqueuing some of the eagles.
Oh, and look at that. He's revealed to himself he's got quite a lot of food in the bank. And here we go. He's actually not going to stay in Feudal Age. Castle Age Res are in the bank, and it is clicked for Akkal. Reilled, though, is nowhere near Vinnie.
He's got
nowhere near.
18 on food, but it's going to take a long time to come in.
It's going to take a long time to come in, especially if he has to build scouts all the way through, right? The food cost of Eagle Warriors is only 20, I think, or 25. So it's very cheap, and it means that it's way cheaper than the 80 food for a scout. So if Reilled's trying to build scouts and vills, it's going to take a very long time for him to get up to Feudal Age. It's 22 minutes in the game, Vinnie, and we've seen our first player just click up now. That shows how chaotic this Feudal Age is. But Reilled could find a nice opportunity for a comeback here. He is ahead in vills. And he's coming into the woodline.
The eagles are just sitting, hammering on that house. And look at the value here that you get instead. They're all idled.
They're all idle. He pulls them all to attack, though. And it's actually quite a nice job for Akkal to lose 1 vill there. Pretty good job. He managed to do well and sends the weak one back. I'd love to see that. That house is being hammered down and also repaired. So idling the economy for Reilled. But yeah, maybe could try and find some more value there. But I think for Akkal here, what he's really trying to do is just get the Eagle Warrior upgrade and in Castle Age, he will have a much stronger push. Reilled, again, nowhere near Castle Age upgrade. Armor for the scouts comes in, so he needs to pack a bit more of a punch with those scouts. But as that armor comes in, Cast will come in for Akkal. And that's going to be a really tough thing for him to deal with. Here come the Eagles
I think
charging forward across the map.
It's looking tough when you see that come in, and you don't know what's going to happen. You're worried maybe they're going to drop a siege workshop on your face.
Yeah.
The Eagles are going to get upgraded, and they'll be able to dive under the town centre. No problem at all.
They will indeed. The first thing that Akkal does in Castle Age is research the arson upgrade. So he has his eyes on that house. And Reilled does now have armor on the scouts, and Bloodline's coming in too. I think for him, he is really just going to want to try and clear these up as much as he can, but he has to be patient. He has to be patient. And the man-at-arms upgrade, I really like to see that. I think it's a little bit late, but I think this is the only thing he can do.
And they do absolutely shred the Eagles.
They do indeed, but look, he wasn't maybe patient enough. That is the Bloodline stable, is it? No, it's not the Bloodline stable. The stable researching Bloodlines is elsewhere, so that does go down, but Bloodline still is on the way. But there's no scouts. There's no scouts to be upgraded by Bloodlines. The house, go back to the house and with arson now. There's a bit of a different story. The Bills are trapped. The Palisade wall deleted. The Bills trying to run, bumping into each other on the way out. The Eagles there to cut off the pass. Coming back to the TC. Akkal still behind in villages somehow, but surely that's going to change at some point. Has he not made a bill in so long? He's making bills now. Like, Reilled has the res for Castle and he clicks up. But what can he do when he gets there? He needs to try and find some gold so he can make some knights.
It's not the Berber longswords.
The Berber longswords. Maybe it is the Berber longsword. There's so many eagles on the field. Maybe it is the Berber longswords. The thing is though, you've got to use those knights at some point. The mobile unit. Akkal still mining that gold with 2 villages there. And Reilled's gone straight back to that wood line that Akkal hit first. And, well, here come the Eagles swooping around. Actually, they changed their mind. They're going to batter down that stable. And it will take quite some damage from these Eagles. I think we'll get it down quite fast. There's no Eagle Warrior upgrade in there. Still Eagle Scouts, I believe. Eagle Scouts, indeed. So, Akkal would do well to get that upgrade, but yeah, okay, second TC coming down on gold. He does need a bit more gold in the bank to afford that upgrade. 200 food, 200 gold for that upgrade. And the stable going down.
Vil count's evening out.
Vil count is evening out. Reilled on the way to Castle Age, so his TC is idle in terms of Vil production. But the army numbers are consistently in Akkal's favour. 24-2, and the Vils catching up now. Fletching for the TC, I guess. I'm not sure what that's for. Man-at-arms in the queue now. Reilled is being really put under the cosh here. Eagle Warrior upgrade comes in now. Can these Eagles even take out a TC? I've not seen many Castle Age Eagle versus TC fights in my experience, I've got to say, but it feels like these Eagles are really dominant. Castle Age comes in now. Reilled's economy, though, he has no gold.
There's no stable.
There's no stable left to build knights from, so it's going to have to be the Berber longswords. And Akkal is doing such a good job of just being an absolute nuisance here.
I think you can just, you know, send 3 Vils to each of the 2 wood lines that aren't being attacked at the moment. Just get...
Who, Reilled? Akkal.
3 Eagle Warriors.
The Eagle Warriors, yeah. 3 Eagle Warriors, exactly, because they'll burst through these palisades. Here come the longswords.
So the longswords, they'll take good fights here, even against the better upgraded units. I think there's not enough of them, and you can't move them around quickly enough. So you can just ignore them.
That's the thing. He can just ignore them. Obviously attacking a farm there, so that's a nice little break for Reilled, but the farm does die, and the Eagles move on. The thing is, though, Reilled has no gold. He can't afford to keep producing them, and they're always going to be a numbers deficit here.
The farmers are barely working because the Eagles keep diving under the TC.
Absolutely right, yeah. And this is such an unorthodox way to play LAN Madness, but it's really caught Reilled out here.
The Vil numbers are equal, but it's the worker efficiency. That's
right.
where the difference is being
called. Well played, smiley face for Reilled, always a class act, and Akkal takes that one.
42 Eagle Scouts.
42 Eagle Scouts made. Wow, what a game there. I've never seen anything like that on LAN Madness. What an opener to have as your game one Aztec victory on LAN Madness. That's a statement of intent for sure from Akkal there. Oh, gosh. And Reilled want to probably catch his breath after that one.
The Eagle Warrior upgrade comes in at 29 minutes.
Yeah, well, the castle age times. What were the castle age times, Granby? Can we see the society, I think?
Technology.
Oh, technology. Yes. 23.56 and 28.40. I mean, that just shows how chaotic it was. Reilled with a nice feudal time, and he was going for that kind of 20 pop scout opening.
I think the difference was made when Akkal was fully prepared to just pump out units from those two barracks and keep doing that for the entire game.
Yes.
Whereas Reilled was a bit more cautious on his scout production and then just didn't have enough to make the difference.
He couldn't
to
afford
use the
scouts.
mobility.
Yeah, like it felt like in the early feudal age he couldn't afford the scout production. What do you think?
He definitely had 100 and something food for a lot of the time.
Oh.
And
okay.
You could have just about had more scouts there, I think.
Yeah.
And having 6 scouts versus 2
yeah.
when you first see the Eagles coming in is such a big difference.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, okay. So, first blood to Akkal in this one. And of course, it's play all 3. So we're going to see 2 more games regardless of what happens. With a point to play for in each game. But Akkal could take the set victory in the next map, and he, Reilled, rather, has the choice of Morass or Hideout, as to which map we'll see. Looks like Akkal just having a quick break. Reilled's getting some consultation from Hull. Some
is that
emotional support.
Tournament admin?
Yes.
So I think that Reilled will want to play Hideout.
I would like to play Hideout as well. Slow the game down a little bit. You don't want any more.
Play a longer one.
To be fair, though, if you've got Saracens in your draft, you know, maybe you just punch back equally as hard with a Saracen Hideout opening.
Do you think it might be Teuton Towers?
It could easily be Teuton Towers for Akkal.
And then that's your nice, chilled Hideout game in complete shreds.
Yeah.
From minute 12.
The thing is, though, if you do go Teutons and your plan is a tower rush, you should be very nervous about Saracen archers. Because I feel like they're going to be up at roughly the same time. Maybe they can get the tower up before the archers are a real problem.
But then Saracens, you know, maybe they're not going archers. Maybe they're going super fast castle and flooding your base with knights.
Mm-hmm. And then the Saracen camels in late game, obviously extremely powerful, and that will deal with Teuton late game really nicely. So it feels like Saracen's a really strong pick here and can be played in a number of different ways. We'll see what map is up next.
But then on the other hand...
Hideout. We're going into game? See.
On the other hand, then you've got Khmer. So
on the other hand, you have Khmer.
You can do a very, very fast castle with Khmer. I think I'm just giving away how I like to play the map.
So I think we saw Basai Dai play Khmer on Hideout.
A few people have played Khmer on Hideout.
Yeah?
Yeah. People like it because it's one of the maps where you actually don't need the barracks.
There is the man himself.
Face of focus.
Face of focus. I hope he can get a win back here. Obviously, no bias, but he is a member of Scytheclan. I've got to support. He's got a shirt on. Support the team.
Very good hair as well.
And
that'll probably help him.
The other thing about Khmer is they have the option of... So when we saw Khmer on Hideout before, did we see Khmer Fast Castle Knights or Fast Castle Elephants?
I think it was Fast Castle Boom, actually.
That's a Boom. Okay.
I think it was just Big Boom.
Yeah.
Which some players like. Mm-hmm. Like that sort of thing. Especially if you're against a civ that you think isn't going to trush you or build archers that can melt your walls with Saracens.
Absolutely right.
But I don't think Akkal will be doing that.
You don't reckon the guy who goes Aztec Eagle Scout
double
rush
barracks,
on
Eagle
on
Scouts?
LAN Madness isn't the person who also goes?
Probably not, but what do I
Khmer
know?
first
He has picked Khmer.
He has picked Khmer, so here we go. Game number 2 is on Hideout. Reilled Saracens for him. Very nice pick, and again, as we said, quite a flexible one. Has the option of going for the archery range units, which take down buildings much faster than other civs, and therefore can burst the palisade walls, but also have the option for late game play. Akkal with Khmer, they do not need buildings to go, well, they don't need buildings to go up to the next age. They just need the food and the gold. And that means that they can get a very, very nice castle age time here. The 2 players spawning quite close to each other on the same sort of axis of the map, which I think favours an early Saracen rush.
Yes, although Akkal has a very good gold placement. In fact, both his gold and his neutral golds are in an unfortunate spot for Reilled to make that aggression.
Whereas Reilled's gold is kind of at the front of his base, right? It's pretty close to that wall.
If you're on the front foot, is that walled off?
No, it's very
close.
It's very close, but it's not walled off. Well, we'll have to see how these players develop their economies in Dark Age. Well, let's have a quick look at the Khmer base, Grandy, because I see at the top right of the screen 9 villagers on food, 0 villagers on wood. So
that's worrying, isn't it?
This is going to be a very, very interesting build order, and I'm not sure where we're going to go with this, but whatever it is, it's going to be very quick. And I really have no idea, actually, how Akkal's going to try and open this. I've not really seen this before. At some point, you're going to want some wood because, well, if you want to build a stable, you need more wood in the bank, and you're going to want to build a mining camp on your gold. Scout cavalry alone are not going to be enough to break through the palisade walls, I would think. I think you need something a bit more powerful than a simple scout cav. Reilled playing this one with a pretty straight bat here. 6 on sheep, 4 on wood, and I think he probably will be going for the Saracen archers.
I hope so, because if you don't have anything and you're trying to go for a longer play, and then your opponent has 13 on food and nothing on anything else.
Yeah.
That will be rough.
That will be rough, yeah.
But Reilled is good he's perfectly competent at playing defensively.
Look at this video. So 15 pop, Liam coming in.
Do you know this build?
So the only other person I've seen do this, Mr. Mole will remember this quite well, was Eusosaurus Rex, LAN Lovers, last year. Eusosaurus Rex did Khmer 15 pop on Beach Fight.
Oh, look, it's 15 pop.
It's 15 pop, yeah. 5-minute 26 pickup. So the thing is, so where do you go from this? Is it fast fuel into eco upgrades? Akkal, you're onto wood now. There's 4 villagers. I mean, he's clearly prepped this, so let's just sit back and watch whatever he's prepared unfold before our eyes. Scout comes around now to try and find Reilled's base. Does go the long way around, and he will sort of pick up on that. But they will actually find each other here. And Akkal's sticking very close to the wood line. I think what he's done is click inside your opponent's base. It's a handy tip for hideout. If you do that, your scout will make their way around there, and eventually find their way to the walls. 40 seconds left until Food Blaze comes in. Reilled obviously nowhere near, but that is absolutely fine.
I'm watching to see Reilled's face.
Yeah, he probably will have no idea. The score for Akkal is very low, but it's hard to really read too much into that right now.
Yeah, you could easily put that down to scouting difference.
Akkal hasn't built... he hasn't built barracks, of course. He's Khmer. What has he built now? A stable. So he is going for 15 pop scouts.
I think that if you're going to do this, Reilled is not the player to do it to.
Oh, no show of emotion for Reilled so far. He's locked in here.
Because you have to get in. How do you get in?
Well, exactly. How do you get in? Unless you build a tower.
But you don't have any wood.
Well, a tower he could afford a tower. His tower's 50 wood, 125 stone. If he sends vills forward, well, there's one villager. Okay, I mean, okay, and there's a tower with one vill, though, really?
You can't see. You only get
It's
one
right in this
tile of
good spot for the
vision.
gold.
Oh my god.
And one scout there, more scouts in the queue. 2 scouts on the field, one, and
Is it in vision of the house that's going up?
it's what in vision of the house?
The tower.
Ah, the tower.
Oh, it's just a
Yeah,
wall.
it's in the vision of the walls. Yeah, yeah. So you have to build it 3 tiles away. I think he's only built it 2 tiles away.
And I would have taken my scout off of hitting the gate.
To not distract you as a opponent. Well,
Yeah.
here come the boys and the girls.
This is classic Reilled instant reaction to the tower. I've seen him do this before. I'm just perfectly happy to Vill fight it out. There's only one
Absolutely.
Vill left. So
What else can you do? And I think this is a
Yeah.
great response, right? Because here come the scouts for Akkal.
and
But
you
they're
can
not that strong. There's only one Vill to build the tower. That tower foundation's going to go down. Very, very low on
Not
HP.
even gonna lose
78
a
HP
villager.
left. Not going to lose a build, no, because, well, the scouts don't do that much damage, realistically. Reilled does have loom in. The tower foundation goes down. Feudal Age comes in for Reilled as well, and, well, of course, he's playing the Saracens. He can
Reild's
start
up.
making his own archers.
the spearmen are coming in, and once there's even just one spearman out there, it's you know
So tough.
maybe you take down one villager, but not even that so far.
Yep. And Reild's walls stand firm. Takes care of the scouts. There's a very
Last
weak
villager.
Vill there. Reilled spots,
So,
Akkal spots it. Very nice pick
For the
off.
cost of a tower, you get one villager.
Yep. Did Akkal lose his villager? No.
No.
That's built a house there. Okay. Struggling to catch our breath here. Akkal has 0 bills on food, Vinnie. He has
So this
0
is-
bills on food.
Then worker efficiency, 25%.
That is
Not ideal.
shockingly low. That is shockingly low. And, well, he can't afford any more bills.
I mean, you know, if you try and make the game this sharp every time, sometimes
It's going
it's
to go
gonna
wrong.
be tough.
Yeah. And Reilled now is in a really, really good spot. 6 bills on food. Okay, he's roughly about that. Pretty much all he needs. He's got 1 range production, I think. 1 range production. Yep, and the blacksmith as well.
Akkal can't queue anything right now.
No, can't
Like,
queue scouts. Can't queue
Vill,
bills.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
building a mill now on the berries. Loads and loads of bills on
mill
wood.
at 12 minutes.
But yeah, he's going to suffer so much economy damage here. And Reilled might inflict a bit more economy damage if he can come forward with some archers and some spearmen. Because how can Akkal rebuff that attack? Spearmen now might be caught out by these 5 scouts, but it's going to trade off some HP at least. But yeah, nice pick off for Akkal there. You need to have all your army together for
You
Reilled.
have 2 or 3 spearmen at the front. Get the archers going.
Forward range for Akkal. Absolute madness here. An archer and a skirm queued up. Well, okay, actually, Akkal's doing a good job of keeping this. Thing is, he's got 5 scouts alive. 5 scouts is nothing to sniff at.
But 5 scouts on hideout.
Yeah, but what it means is that Reilled can't sort of trickle forward with these archers. He has to stay at home. And all the time that Reiled's at home, he's not disrupting Akkal's economy with his Saracen archers and spearmen. So I think Akkal's playing this one
Is there a-
really nicely given the circumstances.
Is there another range at home for Akkal?
I don't think so,
Because
no. I think his
Are
base
they-
is pretty much entirely forward now, apart from the
Are
staple.
there actually archers queued then? Why it says there's an archer and a skirman queue?
Because it's behind the archer.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Both players' resources stretched to the absolute limit. Fletching coming in now for Reilled. Nice upgrade for him. 2 spears, 4 archers. Surely this is a good fight for Reilled. No fletching for Akkal, of course. So he can pick off the archers at range, and skirmisher as well. And if the scouts come and try and fight the archers, they're going to get killed by the spearmen. So I think Reilled's actually in a very nice position and a much more orthodox style, but it's kind of showing why this is the orthodox.
And this is the, like, Akkal is just can't queue villages.
No, he's having massive problems. Skirmishers obviously cost food as well. So his economy is stretched very, very thin.
Oh, the gate's gonna go down.
I don't know. I think the gate's going to stay alive there.
Yes.
He's going to be there in time. And Reilled's doing a very nice job of his archer production. Look at that constant archer production. And
4
he's
spears.
starting to build up a bit of an army now here. skirmishes for Akkal in response, and actually that prompted Reilled to build a stable of his own. Does now do some nice job of walling behind that gate with some houses, so doesn't have too much to fear. First scout comes out of the stable for Reilled, who has 31 villagers to Akkal's 25 or 26 now. So that eco lead is going to grow and grow and grow as that gap stays or grows throughout the game. And yeah, it just means that Akkal really is on a bit of a clock. He's desperately trying to find a way into Reilled's base here, but it doesn't look that likely, actually. I've got to say, it looks like Reilled is doing a really good job of defending, just keeping some scouts built at the back. Akkal might not know about those, and that means that if the skirms ever do come in, Reilled's going to be able to rebuff them. And look at that, archer armor as well. So really nice stuff for Reilled. These archers actually taking a fight before armor comes in. I don't like that.
Oh, and through the gate.
They're going to hold the gate open. No, the scouts are actually trapped in. Who's trapped in with who? The scouts look like they're trapped in with the archers and spearmen. The skirmishers take a quite nice fight against the archers who run away.
You can send the scouts forward, yeah.
And the scouts looping around the outside.
Clean up the skirmishes.
Really, really nice move. And really good awareness from Reilled. Many players would miss that, but Reilled is right on top of everything. He's going to wall up his woodline, and that gives Akkal no chance. It
Yes.
look like, yeah. Does tap the middle one. Reilled playing really well here. How's the fight going at the front? Scouts picking off all those skirmishes, and look at the army numbers now.
And
14 army to 5.
This is where you have to send the archers forward. You've got to like take that front foot, get your economy booming behind.
Yeah. Reilled probably fed up of all the action being in his own base and wants to get some of the action happening in Akkal's base.
So
The two players actually, look at this though, Vinnie. 14 vills on food from Akkal, only 6 to Reilled. So Akkal might actually be quicker up to the castle age here. With the Khmer farms as well. Although no double bit axe and no horse collar for either player. Shows how chaotic it's been. We're just coming to a little bit. Reilled now 16 army to 0. He has to try to make something happen. I think you're right. You've got to just make the most of what. Here we go. And he is going forward now.
I think you've got to go forward and hit the walls.
Yeah, probably was patrolling forward, and might be a little bit surprised to see this collection of little village and an archery range right outside his base, but there you go. And well, these Saracen archers are going to tear through the walls. Still, 17 army to 0. So, well, ding, ding, ding. The town bell sounded like it was being rung, and Akkal now. Oh boy, this is not where you want to be for Akkal. He is desperately trying to keep his base
Look at that,
safe.
about
But look at the gate.
10
the gate
seconds for the gate.
Yeah.
Less.
Yeah, and there's no chance that this palisade wall goes up, or even if it does go up, it's going to go straight back down again. The entire gold is vulnerable, and GG well played from Akkal there. Very, very nice game. Right, I'll take a sip of water, and he's got to be happy with that one, because that was a very calm display under pressure, intense pressure. And he dealt with it really well, I think.
And that is, if you want to play an aggressive game on Hideout, 15 pop.
15 pop Khmer Scouts.
That's pretty good.
Tough to get more aggressive than that, right? Even with the Saracen archers. So really good stuff. And it's 1-1, Vinnie. We're poised at 1-1.
So the final map.
9 scouts. Yeah, and you can see what happened there. So actually, it kind of does coincide pretty well with the padded archer armor. Comes in and then just everything dies. And also it was the wrap around.
Separating the scouts from the skirms.
Wrapping the scouts around the outside, yeah.
Yes.
And the scouts were stuck inside the base, tried to get some value, but the woodline quick walling was really, really good.
Yeah, they only got one villager, and in exchange for that, the whole army's gone.
Yeah.
You don't really have the economy behind, or at least not as good.
Mm-hmm. Very, very exciting stuff.
I think maybe the takeaway from that is that Akkal is not very happy once there's units in his base.
Ah, so he's desperate to always be the one on the front
to
foot.
defense,
Yes.
perhaps.
Well, the next map, Vinnie.
Well, attack is often the best form of defense.
Attack is the best form of
Or
defense.
morass.
And the next map is Morass. And if you want to talk about attack on Morass, you have to mention the Civ first in Reilled's list there, Japanese. It was his first pick of the entire draft, not sniped. Typically we see our opponents, the players here, snipe their opponent's first pick. In this set, Japanese have made it through on Morass, and we might just see why this is being considered such a powerful Civ map combo.
Do you think the answer in response then? Goths?
Yes, I do. I think the answer is Goths, and I think what Akkal's going to try and do is not worry too much about the whole, so let's just list out the strengths of Japanese. Cheaper mill and lumber camp. So what you can do is you can place a mill that costs 50 wood on the shorefish in the center of the map really early, and the shorefish are even faster collection than hunt. So amazing. They also have faster attacking man-at-arms.
And there will be lots of man-at-arms.
And there'll be lots of man-at-arms. And that just means that they have the ability to completely overrun you with a stronger economy and a stronger army, which are the two, well, this is what we play for in Age of Empires. Goths have one really strong thing going for them, and that is the cheaper infantry. And they might just try to go completely for numbers. We've seen Akkal build a couple of barracks before, right? We could see it again here.
If you told me that Akkal was going to go full feudal age man-at-arms, I would believe you.
Yes. I think that seems pretty likely, to be honest. I'm hearing the oinking of pigs, and we are into the game. So 2 houses being constructed for Akkal, and let's have a quick look at Japanese base, Reilled. So he's going to sheep. So we've seen some players, I think Daisy actually did this, when she played Morass, she went straight to the shorefish. She built a mill instantly there, but we're seeing it from Reilled here. He's going to go pretty quickly. He's going to scale a little bit of sheep, and that just smooths the economy over, just guarantees that he's fine. But you see his scouting, early scouting, what he did is went straight there to find a nice spot, and he's found a really good spot where it's surrounded by shorefish. So good spot for him. Akkal is going for the mill himself, okay. But this is the difference, right? 50 wood in the bank for Akkal, 100 wood in the bank for Reilled. So Akkal cannot afford a lumber camp, but Reilled still can. So
sending
really
villages
big
to
difference.
straggler trees. It does play a lot like
Sacred Springs?
Sacred Springs.
Yes, it does. It does play like Sacred Springs. Obviously a map from Training Grounds 1. Reilled shooting the ball with his TC, and always makes me a bit nervous, but does get it
just like
safely secured.
Just like Sacred Springs, the whole crux point is around the shorefish. And if you can get your opponent off of that, then often that's it.
That's it,
It's hard to come back from that.
Unlike Sacred Springs, though, the shorefish is all in the middle, and that makes it, and there's not the 2 distinct areas, there's only the one spot, so it's much more, was even more pressured than Sacred Springs, which is already a very pressured map. Now, Reilled, you can see, still not mining any wood or chopping any wood. Tells me I think he's got the plan to go for 18 pop man-at-arm towers, which is very possible. And we'll see what he decides to go for here. Still queuing up the villages nicely, and I guess he'll get the second boar in. Only got 4 vills on the shorefish. Could have a few more, maybe. I'm not sure. Just send another one now. And how many shorefisher men and women does Akkal have? 4 vills.
And there's a 5th and a 6th.
And a 5th and a 6th under the trees. Okay. So Akkal actually might have a slightly higher food income, although obviously the eco-distribution is Reilled has 12 vills on food. Akkal only has 9. But those shorefish are really quick. Oh, he's not got either boar yet. Ooh. So that might actually slow Akkal down quite a lot, eating through the sheep quite quickly. Goths obviously got a fairly recent change, where they actually, the hunt lasts longer for Goths, which means that they get even more value from the boars. But really, you want to take the shorefish. That's where the crux of the map is, as you say. Akkal now scouting his opponent with the scout, and Reilled doing the same. Okay, so both players having a quick look. Ooh, did he not even see the mill? He did not see the mill.
Surely saw some villages. Maybe not even.
you'd think, right? But now running back, oh, and actually getting the first hit there is actually huge. Now Akkal has to run back. And Reilled here in a good spot. Okay, wow, look at this. 18 pop, Bloom, and Feudal Age is in the queue behind it. So Reilled now can distribute his economy a little bit. 7 bills on wood now. He has to afford a barracks, and he also has to afford 3 militia or 4 militia, however many he wants, and man-at-arm upgrade. So
I mean, you've clicked up, and your opponent only has 120 wood in the bank.
yeah. And bear in mind, Vinny, this is Akkal's home map.
And look at this. Reilled is a very ratty player. He loves using that first scout for poke and be annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll take any opportunity he can. As soon as he gets that small health lead with the scout, that's it.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep doing that.
Long distance mining, 2 villagers on gold. And that's quite an interesting touch there. I wonder if we'll see them place a mining camp, but I actually doubt it. The reason being that there's only he's halfway to Feudal Age, but only has the wood in the bank to afford a barracks, and that is going to be the what he really wants to build, not piddling mining camp. So indeed we see the barracks, and actually has some wood in the bank now to afford the mining camp as well, should he wish to do so. And 70 gold. The thing is actually, Vinny, I hadn't thought about this before. We're on the way to Feudal Age. Where are the militia? Akkal's making militia. He's also he's on the front foot here. Reilled is just building the barracks now, so he's going to be quite behind in the race to the army here.
It would be quite a Reilled thing to do, to have just never practiced the build before.
Well, he did it very, very smoothly. Look at that, only 9 seconds of idle TC time. But here come the Goth militia. And Reilled, you've got to be careful here. This is a lot of food income.
When do you see?
No small walls, but the Bills obviously can fight back. They are armed. And militia being produced now for Reilled from his barracks. Also the thing with the Japanese militia, they attack faster, right? So in a 1v1 fight, the Japanese militia, oh, no way does that Bill stay alive. He's kept it alive really nicely. Not afraid to take some good damage. Wow, Reilled not losing any villagers there. That is astonishing. Really good play from him. The KD 4-0. Reilled brushes that off.
He was running the vills away, but actually he was just moving them to the next mill.
Moving to the next mill, yep. Really smooth stuff. That's the other thing with Japanese, right? You want to build lots of mills because the shorefish all spread out. But
perfectly happy to. And look at the difference in the first mill placement.
Yeah, only 2 tiles.
Shorefish,
yeah, but Reilled had 4 around his mill. He's got 3 this one. Yeah. So excellent, excellent stuff. Reilled can't. Okay, I was going to say, needs to get the man-at-arm upgrade in. That is on the way right now. And Akkal, oh, wow, I haven't noticed. He hasn't clicked up yet, but he's got the food in the bank now. I think he's trying to play this like a bit of a Drush build, though.
27 pop.
27 pop, yeah.
Drush
FC? Could be. Could be. Yeah. They're coming. It feels to me they're coming the long way round. I don't know what you think, but like round the side. It kind of is pretty equal, right? The thing is, though, as Reilled slowly shifts his mill income clockwise, the Goth militia get further away. Well, they're going to get further and further away, and well, here we see a Japanese man-at-arm definitely will take a Goth militia to fight. That is ridiculously big difference.
Not clicked.
Nope, he's got 2 barracks, Vinny. He is not clicking up for a little while yet.
It seems perhaps.
And a second barrack to the other side. So Akkal trying to expand his options here. Reilled, though, I think has weathered an early storm there very, very comfortably, and this feels like a great fight for Reilled. Obviously, outnumbered 2-1, but I still think they're going to take an okay fight. And actually, Reilled does he backs off. He's patient enough to wait for another man-at-arm to come.
Well, if you're waiting, though, it is 2 barracks versus 1.
Yes,
so
this is the thing.
You will still be outnumbered.
You will still be outnumbered.
How long you wait.
Yeah. Supplies comes in now for Reilled, and I think he can consider adding more fish, more food, more vills to shorefish, rather. Yeah, okay, he's building on the mill now. I was going to say, because you want that food income coming in quite nicely, and sending 1 vill to stone as well, I see. And the thing is, yeah, his game plan now is quite clear. I think it's especially at least until his opponent reaches the feudal age, all you have to do is build man-at-arms, and there's no Dark Age counter for man-at-arms, it feels like. A really, really strong
Build man-at-arms,
option.
add farms,
Yeah.
and go Castle Age.
Well, I don't even know. Oh, yeah, you probably want to add some farms. I don't think he needs to go to Castle Age. I think he's quite content being in the feudal age if his opponent's in Dark Age, and just I think the second barracks though, right? Because you don't want to let the Goths. Look at the army numbers; like they are kind of getting in the 2-to-1 territory, and obviously.
It's interesting because it's easy for us to say,
Yeah.
"Oh, Akkal's going to barracks."
Yeah,
sure
does
he's never
Reilled
gonna-
recognize that?
Never going to go up. but
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
a lot harder. You always think your opponent's just about
Just
to
about
go up.
5 seconds to reach. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Reilled can have a look at the score though and be reassured that he probably is in lead here. I think he'll feel happy with how the game's gone so far, but whether or not he can actually.
And Akkal is
Yeah.
the idle time stacking up. The villager count is almost even again.
Yeah, the village count is almost even. Idle time is stacking. Wow, yeah, 3 minutes idle TC time. But Reilled still hasn't been able to actually get across the map. Archery range comes in now. So he's going to try to, well, the archer's obviously a very nice unit because they can shoot from range. And that means that the militia, who are slow and bumbling, are going to take a lot of damage on their way to the man-at-arms, which again are a strong unit when they even arrive there. So Reilled now moves in for
This
the
is-
loop
this
into the
is the
fight. They're
fight.
still attacking the gate.
This is the fight that
They're still attacking the
Reild's
gate.
needed.
Yeah, and he takes a really, really nice engagement there.
So at what point do you say, okay, I need to go to feudal age?
Well, I think if that was the point, it was a long time ago. We're seeing a
The thing is, Akkal can add a bunch of farms, go to feudal and straight to castle, but can you do that before you die?
Well, Reild's not actually got to his base yet, so he's still managed to keep him out of his base. But here we go. I think the thing is now, before it was sort of 10-5 army, now it's 12, 11 to 11, right? So Reilled has completely equalized the
Yes.
army numbers,
And
and
that
they're way,
army-
way better.
The army value is misleading because of how much stronger the feudal age.
Yes, it doesn't take into account that they're upgraded.
And this is another game where no one wants any eco upgrades, don't need those.
No, well, I think horse collar definitely is not needed, but a little bit would be quite nice for Reilled. Fletching coming in now for the archers. He's got 4 in queue and 2 on the field. 11-6 army now in favour of Reilled. So that the past couple of sort of 30 seconds, he's taken a really, really nice couple of engagements here. And now he is in the economy for Akkal. Akkal has got to be worried. Still nowhere near clicking up to the feudal age. 2 militia fighting 2 men-at-arms. And, well, Reiled's army doesn't seem to be decreasing that much. It seems to be pretty constant around the sort of 10 number, whereas Akkal's has fluctuated quite wildly.
Akkal is off shorefish.
Akkal's offshore fish, and that really sort of sparks the, well, it's just a big opportunity for Reilled to pull ahead in the eco difference. Dolbit Axe comes in now, and 2 barracks are in service for Reilled. Akkal, okay. Akkal's bit the bullet. 493 food, 503. There we go. Feudal age on the way. Okay, so he is going to go up to feudal age.
Just about
Is
22
it
minutes.
too late though? 22 minutes coming in. Okay, and Reilled, I think got to be more aggressive with those archers, right?
Yes, he's going to send them forwards and try and do some damage.
Yeah. So he can range all the wood lines. He can range the farmers because they're farming quite far away. Obviously, Akkal's not on shorefish, but that would be a great thing to attack if Akkal was on shorefish. But he's already cleared those villas out, and it's such a messy game. Reilled doing a great job fighting on both fronts. Akkal doing a great job to send army to both fronts.
And well, what army?
Well,
There's none left.
0 army. We've been here before, Vinnie. 17 army to 0, 40 villas to 34.
Eco leaves.
Akkal has got to survive a minute to feudal age, but when he gets to feudal age, what does he do? I mean, man-at-arms, I mean, he's got a lot of res in the bank, does Akkal?
He can go straight up to castle, but he'll be dead before he can do that. So
I don't think he can. I mean,
you have the res, but
yeah,
not the
I
time.
don't even know if I have the food. I guess if he does a market, he can buy a bit of food. Obviously, Goths, very nice if they can get a castle down. The Huskars would be quite nice, yeah? But
that seems like a long way
it
away.
does seem a long way away, doesn't it?
And Reilled's on stone.
Reilled is on stone. Akkal, okay, so Feudalage does come in. The archers, though, circling like sharks here in the farming economy and picking off vills left, right, and centre. All of the vills have been pulled, and I think Akkal is really running out of options. The score is heavily, heavily in favour of Reilled here. And the vills are just sort of bunched onto the TC. Nothing happening economy-wise, no vills in the queue. Akkal desperately trying to find something, and GG, well played. And Reilled takes it 2-1, Vinnie, after losing the first game. Congratulations to Reilled. He pulls it back for the 2-1 victory. Very, very nice performance. And 3 of the most aggressive games I've seen in the tournament.
Well played from
so
Akkal
far.
as well. That was some strats there I've never seen before.
Yeah.
And I think it's tough because Reilled is he's good at confusion and adapting to that sort of thing. I think that I'd love to see
50 to 18 KD, Vinnie. That is ridiculous. And they're all militia and vills.
feudal time.
Feudal time, 22
Feudal
minutes
time,
to 8.
8:34 versus 22 minutes. That-
Yeah. So really, really interesting game, actually. And yeah, Reilled, I wonder. Well, we'll have a little winners interview maybe, but I can ask Reilled about it. But the 18-pop man-arms, I'll ask him if he thinks that was something he was preparing. It looked pretty smooth, although the man-at-arms didn't come out in... he only started building militia when he got to Feudal Age. They didn't have the man-at-arm upgrade ready to come in, and that could have maybe stopped the early sort of tussles and that ball of 6 militia coming in and sort of, well repelled, but the fish eco was disrupted for some time.
It was interesting to see how well the Dark Age militia did, though.
They did do quite well.
Lots
and
of
they're cheap, right? They're really cheap.
And lots of them died, but
Yeah.
as long as they were trading not that badly. If you've got a bigger group, even with the worse unit, you can trade efficiently.
Yeah.
And it's tough you can't ball all your units up as Reilled because those militia are trying to kill all your villagers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's such a sharp set.
They're very sharp, yeah.
So
very, very sharp set. It's not all going to be sort of all in
I think
feudal there
have
plays.
been games in this tournament and the previous tournament that have been longer than that set pretty much.
Yes, definitely. So, yeah, pretty much an hour-long set. So very, very good stuff from both players. And Grandy, I wonder if we can have a short interview with the mic. Great. Okay. Thanks very much, Vinnie, for casting, and I will
Thank you very much.
move over to the roaming mic. Hello. Where should we stand? Here. Stand here. Well, congratulations. Oh, you want to? Yeah, have you roaming mic? Yeah, there you go. That's even better. Perfect. So, congratulations, Reilled, the victor of the first set of the day. Yep. And pretty chaotic one. How do you feel after that one?
Stressed,
Stressed.
I was not expecting the Dark Age militia flood.
No, and I think so. Let's bring it back actually to the draft.
Yes.
We had LAN Madness as game number 1.
Yes.
Aztecs. Have you ever seen that before?
No.
No.
And it was quite strong. Who knew?
And yeah, it actually took you down with the Berbers, right? So pretty impressive stuff. And is that something you think you're going to be picking up for the rounds to come?
I don't know. It looked like quite a lot of micro and something I'm not used to. So do I want to change my style completely? We'll see. But
Yeah.
I was expecting him to go he picked up 2 cav civs at the end, so I thought that was going to be the LAN Madness. So I picked the Berbers for the camels, and then it ended up being eagles. I'm like, oh, well,
Yeah.
this wasn't what I planned for. But
Yeah, well, it definitely caught you off guard for sure. But then games 2 and 3 obviously went in favour of you.
Yeah.
Hideout, 15 pop Khmer scouts. When that was happening, what were you thinking about? How did you sort of...
Oh, I thought because it was Khmer, there's going to be some sort of nonsense going on. So
Okay.
I don't know, sort of got loom and went up as quickly as I could behind it, and then tried to hold, and then and then turned out at the end that I'd taken some good fights, and he had nothing at home. So had to hold the initial wave of army, and then
Yes.
we survived.
Yeah, very, very nice. And then the final game, obviously, Japanese on morass.
Yep.
Is that something you've been preparing?
I have practiced that build a couple of times. I think I've not done it on 18 before, but
Okay.
so I think maybe you could have got the barracks up a bit quicker. But yeah, it seems strong. Japanese seem very good on that map.
Seems really, really strong.
Yeah.
Okay, well, congratulations, Reilled.
Thank you all.
Very nice victory. And yeah,
Thank
we'll
you.
move on to our next set between Nillis and Daisy.